Hello, Chicago Bears fans. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see today, we are not wearing what the Bears would be wearing during the game. We got us our orange new Rome Odunze today. Couldn't go ahead and wear the blue because the Bears are giving us plenty to be blue about. So we had to brighten it up just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because, oh, hello, hold on one second. Chairs get caught on the rug. All right. Today's video is going to be a rant, a freestyle rant, if you will. I don't have my laptop here to look at things. I am just going to speak my mind on what I saw in the pressers immediately after the game. And then today, Monday, I listened to ESPN radio while I'm at work. I listened to 670 The Score while I'm at work. I flipped back and forth between the two. I also listened to the Windy City Breeze in the morning, Pat the Designer, all those guys. I listened to CHGO Bears. I listened to everybody. And the sentiment seems to be the same all around all of Chicago at the moment. And that is Matt Eberflus needs to be fired yesterday. Same with Shane Waldron for that matter. Let's see. We're going back to where, Shane, or not Shane, I'm sorry, Matt Eberflus just seems to be dodging responsibility for the things that are happening on the field. He keeps going back to the we need to execute. We all need to be better. We're all a team, and we all need to figure out figure out that process, right, guys? The process. Well, Eberflus, yeah, your process ain't working, my guy. And let's be honest, the presser today was just a complete mess. For one, he tried to be on 670, or I'm sorry, on ESPN today with Cap, and the phone call cut out 3 different times, and then they didn't get to finish the interview. That in and of itself is atrocious. And then on top of it, that noon presser, everybody and their brother asked him what's going to happen with play calling, and it was 100% ducked. There's no reason why you should not already have your answer as far as Shane Waldron goes. You got 3 back-to-back really bad weeks of what he is doing with the offense. And before that, sure, he was okay for 3 weeks, but then, you had the first 3 weeks that were just not good as well. So, I mean, there's more than enough evidence out there that Shane Waldron cannot call this offense. He doesn't know what he's doing. He can't handle the guys the way that they're supposed to be handled. I mean, you got DJ Moore doing sweeps behind the line of scrimmage that are getting sniffed out from a mile away. Keenan Allen's being used as a deep ball man when he's really not that kind of receiver anymore. It's just, and then the offensive line not giving Caleb Williams enough time to really get the ball out, and then it's just there's a lot of bad things going on right now with Shane Waldron, and the fact that you have to come out and say that it is going to take 24 to 48 hours to make a decision on what will happen with him in play calling is just inexcusable. That is a fireable offense in and of itself. You are the head coach. You know that it's a problem, and you won't just come out and say it right away that it is a problem and it is being handled. He is done. I don't understand why you can't come to that conclusion overnight. I honestly, I really don't. And the fact that Ryan Poles or Mr. Warren isn't stepping in is absolutely ridiculous. They should have been like, if you're not going to fire him, I will. And since you didn't fire him, you could go as well. I cannot get behind the fact that nobody has come out yet and say that Shane Waldron is done with the Chicago Bears. Or at the very minimum say he has been relieved of play calling duties. How no one has come out in the first 24 hours of the game and said that is a total indictment on the head coach and the mid to upper management. Like, it is absolutely terrible. There's no excuse for Shane Waldron anymore. There's no more excuses. 3 weeks in a row where you can't put up more than, 7 points? Second week in a row, you don't score a touchdown. What is it, 37, 39 consecutive drives with no 7 points on the board. You can't tell me that that is acceptable. And then, on top of that, you're going to turn around. Hi, Bug Bush. On top of that, you're going to turn around. Mushu, pal. Thank you. On top of that, you're going to turn around and be like, well, we have the process and we're just gonna focus. You know, we have plenty of video that shows that we've played good ball at times. At times. There's more evidence than not that he cannot coach an offense. Period. And all of Chicago is in agreement. I mean, we heard boos at the end of the first drive, at the end of the half, at the end of the game. We heard Eberflus chants everywhere. And you're going to sit there and be like, we're going through the process, 24 to 48 hours, we'll have an answer. No, that is unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. You cannot do that. How many coaches have already fired head coaches, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, anyone else on the coaching staff? Even bad teams know how to get rid of bad coaches. And then there's us. There's fans. I know I'm not going crazy here, right? I mean, I heard it all day in all of these podcasts and in ESPN and 670 CHGO, Locked On Bears. It's everywhere. I understand that you have too much pride and you're probably going to wait until the end of the year to fire Eberflus. Fine. I can live with that because I know that you're not going to fire your head coach mid-season. Shane Waldron's a different story. He's getting your quarterback killed. He is limiting his development. Anybody else is a better choice at this point. Probably even anybody on the Bears coaching staff currently is a better option than Shane Waldron. I mean, you cannot get Cole Kmet 2 targets, 0 targets, and how many did he have yesterday? I want to say 4 or 5, none of which came in the first half. He was non-existent the first half again. That's another thing that is irritating me and is completely unacceptable. You don't know how to use Cole Kmet. You don't know how to use Keenan Allen. You don't know how to use DJ Moore. I would argue the only person that is really making a difference is Rome Odunze, which good for him at being a rookie to be having the season that he is with the state of the Bears offense right now. To be honest, is quite amazing. And to be fair, that's why I'm wearing his jersey, because I got to give him some props right now. Because, like I said, the way that our offense is stunted because of Shane Waldron, for Odunze to be putting up the numbers that he is, let's be honest, it's impressive. And I know that it doesn't fall solely on Shane Waldron. I know that a lot of it is the offensive line. I know also a lot of it is sometimes Caleb Williams holds the ball too long, or he's overthrowing people, or he's throwing an unreachable ball. I understand that. But you look at your all-22 films, or you go back and watch the game not live, you can see that the scheming is completely broken. Your routes don't allow for anybody to get open, which is why Caleb Williams is sitting back there for 6, 7, 8, 10 seconds getting a sack when, you're in field goal range, and then that sack takes you out of field goal range. I've never been so frustrated with an offensive coordinator, and that is really hard for me to say because I remember the Mike Martz era. I remember Jay Cutler flipping him off on live TV, telling him I remember that. I remember seeing that on live TV. I remember how pissed we were when Matt Nagy wouldn't give up his play calling duties when we knew that he was struggling after 2018 and we knew that he needed an offensive coordinator. I remember that. I remember going through what we went through last year. And, it's getting to a point where I'm running out of excuses for the guy. I mean, we thought that last year was so bad, even for how good the last, 6 games of the year went. We thought that it was bad with Trubisky when Matt Nagy wouldn't give up play calling because he was too hard-headed. We knew that it sucked, especially with someone like Mike Martz. It's just, there's so much that they could do right, but there's so much that they're wanting to do bad all at the same time. It's like, It's crazy because you take one step forward and then 10 back. Like weeks 3 through 6 were phenomenal. Weeks 3 through 6, I had no complaints. I actually was saying very good things about Shane Waldron. He was using the pass game right. You had a couple of deep balls to DJ Moore. You were getting a Dunze open. You were targeting Cole Kmet. You were using the run right because you were using DeAndre Swift on the outside of the tackles, and you were using Roshan Johnson in the 5-yard line to punch it through to the end zone. You were doing so much right, and then you use the bye week to forget all of it. All of it. Make it make sense. The math ain't math in here. 2 plus 2 somehow is equaling 5 right now, and I want to know how they're making that math work, because goddamn Bears fans. Everyone's completely justified in calling for every coach that we have, and Poles as well. Don't get me wrong. I still stand by. I believe Poles can still turn it around, because honestly, outside of Shane Waldron's utter fuck-ups the last 3 weeks, realistically, you are one good offensive line, not even good, a decent offensive line away from being, 7-2 right now? Yeah, I mean, you are a decent offensive line away from being a great team. Is that to Poles' detriment for not addressing it this year and going and getting Torrey Taylor, which, to be fair, thank God we got him, because he's been helping our defense so big, because our defense regressed in the run stopping that we did last year. Our defense can run stop in the red zone, and we're holding guys to field goals, and that's great, but forcing more 3-and-outs would be fantastic. And again, I can't even be mad at the defense, because they have been utterly gassed every single game this year. And outside of that game against the Cardinals, they're holding their opponents to under 20 points. That one Cardinal game is the only game that they've allowed 20 or more points, or 21 or more points. So really, even though the defense has regressed in their run-stopping game, I still can't be mad at the defense, because they're still holding guys to field goals and under 21 points, but your offense just can't do anything. And as a Bears fan, that sucks, because I turned off the game probably with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and I rarely do that. I can't watch stupid football. The Bears defense, for the most part, is the only reason why I watched after week 3, and then the offense got it together, and then we hit the bye, and I'm at the point, again, where the only reason why I'm watching is because of the defense. It is insane to me that you keep shooting yourself in the foot the same way year in and year out. Year in and year out. Do I think that Eberflus is a brilliant defensive mind? Yes. No one will ever take that away from him. He is a genius on the defensive side of the ball. No one would disagree with that. However, your offensive coordinator has fucked you over so hard. And I'll give Eberflus this too. I think if it was a better defensive coordinator that could do his job competently, I don't think Eberflus would look this bad at all. If I'm being 100% honest, if he had a competent coordinator, I don't think that Eberflus would look this bad. But I mean, it's the not taking accountability, calling out your players taking accountability for the whole team when that's not their job. That is the coaching. The coaches are supposed to take responsibility for the whole team. The players should only take accountability and responsibility for themselves. But we see it time and time again. These captains are coming out and taking responsibility for the whole team and calling out the coaches, and then the coaches put a chokehold on them. It's this never-ending wheel is just getting annoying to watch, and it's getting to a point where we're probably gonna fumble another number 1 overall quarterback. And it sucks to have to say that. Like, I hope that Caleb Williams doesn't hate Chicago by the end of the year, because I think that if somebody like a Ben Johnson were to come in, they could do really, really good things with Caleb Williams. I mean, I'll give him one thing. He's got grit, because he gets sacked 15 times over the last 2 weeks. And he still plays with heart, even though he's on the sideline just ignoring Shane Waldron, which you really can't blame him. We have seen this movie way too many times. And I want to see some real change, and I need it to be from the top down because Eberflus clearly ain't going to do it. He said we got to wait 24 to 48 hours for that answer. I don't understand why Ryan Poles or Warren didn't come out and say, no, he's gone. I understand wanting to believe in your head coach given the problems that he has faced this year. But not drawing that line in the sand and getting rid of a clear parasite to your team absolutely boggles my mind. Because there's a couple of times where we could have made changes to the offensive line that could have helped. And they refused to do it. They rolled out the same guys every week. And even with the injuries piling up, it's the same guys every week. Bears fans, I want it to change so bad. I mean, you should have won against the Patriots, and you should have been 5-4 going against Green Bay. And now that game just looks so bad on paper. So bad. And then I'm going to be doubly pissed if Shane Waldron does get fired on Wednesday, or by Wednesday, and the Bears find some way to rattle off a couple of wins against these divisional opponents, and I'll be sitting here like, where was this against the shitty teams that you just played the last 3 weeks? You should have beat the Commanders because of the way you came back. You should have beat Arizona with the defense that they have. And then the Patriots are just ranked at the bottom of the barrel in like every single stat. And they come and outscore you 19-3 at home. Yikes. And like I said, if they find a way to rattle off any sort of wins in these last games and look competitive, I'm going to be so mad because of the games that you should have won against teams that had no business beating you. But we're still here, Bears fans. And, well, I'll be a little cliche and say what Eberflus did, but at least us as fans, we have each other. At least we got each other. We could bitch back and forth all day long. And we can conversate about it. And then we could be like, haha. But Bears fans, listen. You tell me what you think down in the comments below. I want it to change. You want it to change. We all want it to change. So bad. But tell me how mad you are down in the comments. Let me know. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so we could beat that algorithm. And I will catch you guys on Wednesday for the injury report and a potential Shane Waldron firing. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evenings. Try to enjoy your weeks. And bear down.